Hi, Professor Muncie. This is Maria Campbell, and this is my persuasive essay revision for class CCR 094 Studio. And I definitely had to go back to the drawing board on this one. I realized I ended up doing way too much pros and cons, or both sides of the story, when actually it had to have been a persuasive essay. Which side of the fence I'm trying to persuade you to. So in this case, it would be reasons why homeschooling is best for your child. So in this, I revised the fact of starting off with Jeffrey Canada's statement of our public school system has been failing for over 50 years. Why would I, as a parent, expose my child to that? Then concerns that I would have as a parent. Will my child become a hermit? Will homeschooling prevent my child from being accepted into a good college? Those are valid and understandable concerns for any parent. So the revisions here I did were more focused on the reasons why it is best to homeschool your child. Mainly because as a parent, you would have what your child is influenced by, the curriculum, the speed, whether your child needs more time on a certain subject, you can actually spend more time on that subject. If your child is excelling, then you can speed it up. Where in the public school system, it's pretty much one curriculum, all children, regardless of whether the child is retaining the information or not. That's when it becomes to be challenging. That's when the child is left behind. That's where you as a parent have to take charge. Give your child the right tools, the right education, the right resources. Like in the case of Josh Powell, how would I prevent my child surpassing my level of education? Would be to continue my education and seek outside resources, such as, in his case, the public library. He found outside tools and resources to continue his education and excel in it, eventually ending up in Brown University, or being accepted into Brown University. Other myths, such as in Romanowski's, he addresses 4 common myths with facts, where people assume things without knowing, such as homeschooling creates your child a hermit or a misfit, when in actuality, if you're truly take your child out, teach them academically, show them um, public activities, sports, dance, ballet, whatever your child is interested in, and you have the ability to monitor what they're exposed to, who they're surrounded by, create play dates for specific, not only for the children to continue interaction and socializing, but also for the parents that are on the same page that want to prevent their child being exposed to unnecessary things. I added on here towards the end also the concerns of homeschooling. Sometimes homeschooling, like in this case, the child was being homeschooled for the wrong reasons. That's where it's to the benefit of the parent should certain abuse or um, inappropriateness happen, then the child has no way to speak out or things be just physically seen. Towards the end, I also added, in this case from the National Center for Education Statistics for the 2013, it gave stats as far as kids from ages 12 to 18 were victims of about 1,364,900 non-fatal victimizations at school. I, as a parent, homeschooling my child, have the ability to prevent them from a lot of these incidents, exposures, inconveniences, whatever they may be. So I recall I added a couple of incidents where the statistics that I know or I'm exposed to have changed drastically from when I went to school, high school in 1989, and how uncommon incidents were to my daughter going to school in 1993, high school, and then my daughter now going to school, the little one, entering the 6th grade. How so much more has been not only exposed by the media, but unfortunately a lot more common, where there's just unpredictability, exposure, and unfortunately instances where I, homeschooling my child, have the ability of shielding them from that. Not completely, but to the best of my ability, and the fact that I have control over that gives me peace of mind. I also ended up with the conclusion, if, for example, you were a single parent or a parent like ourselves that rely in a dual income where we need both incomes to survive, then I have become, and my husband, more involved in the school system. And if that school's not the right match, then you move them to a better school or a better district. I'm also actually looking into possibly doing some online schooling. My daughter showed interest in the youngest one, and I, being a medical coder, I'm also looking to work remotely where she can do online. We can meet with an advisor once a week, make sure she's on track, take her to the right. She's currently in gymnastics. We could continue to do that, set up play dates, and basically just keep them active, keep them social, keep them exposing their brain and excelling in any way we can. I mean, we have to, as a parent, do the best we can for our children. And hopefully, there's no regrets. They will always be that in those teenage years where they go through their little rebellions. But in this situation, it's more to keep my child safe, smart, excelling, all around. The best option would be to homeschool my child. So hopefully this helps. Definitely had to go to the drawing board on this one, and I appreciate your comments. Thank you.